again, from close guard, I'm going to have sleeve control, collar control, same setup. I open my legs, shrimp on my side, inside control, okay, from my position. So again, using my feet on his hips, I can start putting tension in Carl's right arm, the one I'm going to omoplata. And now from there, I'm going to shrimp onto my left hip, and my right foot is going to go somewhere between his elbow and his shoulder, biceps good, and I'm just looking for inside control. Carl's going to be swimming inside, I'll be swimming inside. He comes over the top, I find the shoulder, bring it back. I'm not going to go into detail on that, it's a Thursday's vid. And when the moment's right, I turn from my left hip to my right hip. That just gives me another couple of inches getting Carl's right elbow away from his body. Then I just do the usual stuff. I kick my leg out, foot on the hip, start pushing down to get Carl's shoulder towards the mat. So we've looked at the forward roll, we've looked at posture. Another thing Carl can do from there is he can cartwheel over. Now if he gets head control and wins the cross face, he starts side control. Okay? If you haven't done that escape a few times, or if you haven't done it, I would drill it a few times. So all I'm doing from there is, even though I have elbow control here, if Carl gets from my left side to his right side, and then wins the cross face, he can sprawl out and flop me out. So again, that's the weakness in the omoplata, so you know how to deal with that. So there's three kind of layers to this. That's why we're always controlling this elbow line. Okay? So if you think about it, Carl has to get from my left side to my right side. The minute he goes to jump over, I'll use my hand up. Alright? That's all I'm using. As he goes to roll, I just use that and then keep my hand over his back. That's the first option. If I'm late, he'll keep rolling over and end up here, and we still have elbow control. Okay, and then we can do our usual stuff from here. He hasn't managed to get over to the other side. Does that make sense? Do that again. So first one, I have elbow control with my right hand. Carl goes to cartwheel, and I've come up same time and I've managed to keep him from hopping over. So that's the first one, and then I'll just finish with the omoplata. Second one is, he hasn't got over to my right side, but he's kept rolling. So now he's on his back, but we're basically into that same position again. So I have an option of re-rolling or back stepping in the omoplata. Things we covered last week. Make sense? But let's look at the scenario where Carl has got over to the other side. So I'm controlling the elbow, I'm late, and he's actually hopped right over. So from here, my right hand is still controlling that elbow. From here, I'm going to unlock my triangle and switch my hand position. Okay? From my right hand to my left hand. My left knee is going to make a knee shield here. And from this position, I'm going to come up on the ball of my right foot and contract my right knee to get my knee line back. I'm coming up on my shoulder and I'm re-rolling underneath. And now we're back into it's just a Granby roll. If you have the skill of sitting on your butt and rolling across your shoulders, you will have no problem with this. If you haven't that skill, you can still get it because you're connected to the person. Let's break it down a bit more. So, from collar and sleeve, okay, you shrimp out. I get inside control. I'm on my left hip. I find the bicep. I turn on to my right hip to get that little bit of exposure on the elbow. Kick the leg through, foot comes on the hip, drive in. See the way my hand is controlling the elbow? Now, of course, I'm looking for this. So I've already switched. It's just a battle omoplata game. Switching control from one hand to another. I can't do it with that hand. Roll, Carl. This hand's not going to stop him. Take it back a step. That's why if I feel him cart rolling, I have to do that, and then this arm wants to keep him from rolling or keep him on that side. Does that make sense? But if Carl manages to hop over and I end up here, okay, all I'm going to do is I uncross the triangle. My left hand keeps elbow control and my left knee makes a knee shield, and I'll widen my legs as far wide as I can. I use the ball of my foot to retract my right knee so I can physically come up on my right shoulder. And then I just roll through that space. Driving my legs forward. Back into Omoplata again. Again, if you're not used to Granby rolling, you might find this a little difficult. But you are connected to the person, so it doesn't take a lot of effort to come underneath. So from here, move my hip, kick out, switch, car rolls. I keep control and switch to the left elbow. Okay? Now from there, I'll unlock the triangle. My left shin is kicking hard in the hip, making a knee sheath. And I widen my base as far as I can, creating space for me to come under. So from there, I come up on my right shoulder, and because I'm connected to the car, I'm rolling from my right shoulder across the back of my head to my left shoulder, immediately I'm coming up. Back into it. Okay.